What is up, fellow fans of Clash of Clans? It is your host, Galadon, and today's episode is sponsored by Discord. If you guys are not familiar with it, you've got to check it out. It's absolutely free. It is not going to cost you a penny to check out and use this app. You can put it on your phone, tablet, laptop, desktop, you name it, and it's a great way to communicate with other Clash players in your clan, across other clans in your clan family. You can communicate with me. It's a great tool for PUBG Mobile when you're playing PUBG and you need to get on with your squad, voice, all sorts of different applications for it. And even better yet, join my server, discord.gg/Galadon Gaming, and get in on the giveaways. That's right, giveaways for my Discord server users just for being awesome. So make sure you guys check that out. Now, today's episode, you might have guessed, is about Legend League clouds, and Legend League trophies. I get so many comments about people saying that Clash needs to fix the clouds, right? We hear that a lot. And you know that I started the quest to 7,000. Is this one of those episodes? Well, it's sort of, and I'll explain that in just a moment. But this season, I'm not pushing super hard, okay? We're pushing sort of hard. We're trying to get the trophies to a respectable level, maybe around 6,000, but 7, it's just not going to happen yet. And obviously, when I started the quest to 7,000, I didn't expect to get there in a season or even 2 or 3, much like if you guys remember, those of you that watched me years ago, I started the quest to 5,000 before anybody had ever even really considered the idea of a player hitting 5,000. Players had just started passing 4,000 back then. So 7, yes, I do think that it will happen unless we see a change to the clouds that also affects trophies in some way, shape, or form. Maybe some sort of reset, some sort of re-evaluation of the top of Legend League. But my idea, and it was in the thumbnail, and Supercell knows about it, I've sat down with them personally in the Clash of Clans office in Supercell's headquarters and said, hey, wouldn't it be a great idea if you took the Legend League trophies that players have been saving for literally years that are completely pointless right now and turn them into currency? And the funny thing is, it feels like they should be. Like, this has been a plan all along. Maybe why else does it show up on your profile, the number of Legend League trophies that you have accumulated? It otherwise is pretty much meaningless. Okay, now unfortunately, that's maybe the same could be said with War Stars. But unfortunately for Legend League trophies, the more you have, the crazier you likely are. They are just a badge of spending hours and hours, if not dozens, if not hundreds, for some thousands of hours in the clouds searching for a base. Now, so the thing about making Legend League trophies into a currency would not in and of itself, of course, solve the cloud situation at all. I mean, would it push more people to try to get above 5,000, collect some of those trophies so that they could buy things in the Legend League shop? Perhaps. But even if that were to happen, I think that it's a far cry from fixing the clouds, because suddenly you've got, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands more players in Legend League. But it is a small little gift that you could give to those players, so you could see it two ways. One, it could help push more players up there. Number two, let's reward players who push every season. I'm just going to be honest here. When you're pushing trophies, it's not exactly a display of skill, okay? It's just not. The way that Clash is set up right now, it was back in the day, and we will talk about this. I'm going to talk about this in depth. In fact, I've got an interview coming up with the first player that ever achieved 4,000 trophies back in the early days of Clash of Clans. And things just so much different now than they were then. Attacks at Town Hall 12 at the maxed out Town Hall now, as opposed to maxed out Town Hall 10 back then. There's really not that much of a question whether you're going to win or lose an attack. Even if you're facing a maxed out base, it is a vast majority of players that have an easy time picking up at least 1 or 2 stars, and a lot of players more concerned about whether they can get that 3rd star or not. So yeah, so that'll be interesting. And what I'm saying is, At least in the Builder Hall, if you're at the top of the trophies, that means you're probably one of the best attackers in the game, and you also have a very solid base. If your clan is really high in level, most of the time, that means your clan has won a lot of wars, and of course you can also see many clans' war records, their war win streak. That displays skill and dedication. Legend League trophies, definitely dedication, not so much skill. So let's do something in there that would either A, make it so that it's more of a skillful thing, which could be a way that they actually fix the clouds. You know, you get to a certain point, a certain trophy level, and you enter a whole new dynamic of the game. You know, you enter a battle, somebody suggested, where it's actually versus battles, where players above, say, 6,000 trophies have to face other players above 6,000 trophies, and whoever gets the better percentage against the other player's base, just like versus battles but at home, then you can win additional trophies beyond 6,000, and then the game again becomes about skill, because after a certain period of time, now obviously I know you guys are going to say, well, gemmers have the dirty advantage, and yes, of course they would to an extent. Eventually, you know that there's going to be pretty much all maxed out players up there. Now that's going to take a long time. I admit, it'll take a long time before we see all maxed out Town Hall 12 players at the very top of the scoreboards, but it will happen even to the free-to-play players. I mean, that's, you guys have to realize, that's one of the reasons that Town Hall 12 was released, was because when they looked at the number of players who have reached max 11, it was getting pretty high. Also, if you did the math and you did the calculations, you would see that a free-to-play player could have indeed maxed his entire base by then with a reasonable amount of time spent. Or, well, okay, reasonable is relative, but with a lot of time invested, no doubt. But I'm just saying that a free-to-play player could have maxed out Town Hall 11 and could be working on 12 right now, and that means eventually, someday, they could get towards the top of the trophy leaderboard without having to spend gems to get there. Now, here's the catch. Builder Hall is like that. Builder Hall has been like that for a long time. The home village is not like that. Would people object? Probably. You'd get some people that would object. And then there's also this little thing called Town Hall 13. Shouldn't talk about that yet. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. There's this thing about the fact that there's always a new town hall, right? It may take a couple of years for a new town hall to come out, but it's really not a matter of if, it's more a matter of when. If the game continues for long enough, there's going to be a Town Hall 17. Just calm down, Peter. So that'll eventually happen, but you never know. I mean, how long is Supercell going to keep Clash of Clans going? Actually, I wouldn't phrase it that way. It's more like, how long are players going to keep Clash of Clans going? You know, a lot of people are down in the comments saying Clash of Clans is dead, and I like to say, hey, thank you for watching the video, because no doubt there are millions, if not tens of millions of players playing Clash of Clans every single day, keeping it alive and well, and of course it's even staying in the top charts. It's always in the top 50 or so, and that's a lot of money that this game is still making, so I doubt Clash is going anywhere anytime soon. Will we see a Town Hall 17? Maybe. You know, who knows? We might go to a completely different style of playing games in the next several years. You never know what's around the corner with VR, with AR. There's lots of advancements that are being made every single day, and it's not just cars and phones that are changing, but games are changing dramatically too. In the meantime, Clash of Clans still doing well, Legend League trophies still completely useless, clouds still absolutely terrible. But hey, you know what? Thank you, Legend League players, for continuing to push. My clan, Lost Phoenix, and all the other Legend League clans out there, your dedication is what's going to lead Supercell to do something positive, to make a positive change. So don't give up. Stay the course. Keep pushing those trophies, free to play or not, and keep coming back to watch the videos like this one. And maybe someday, what? You can have a Hog Rider statue in your village. I think it looks awfully good. And you can see here I've got 5,718 useless Legend League trophies. But hey, they're useless, but you're not. Thank you guys again for being here. I appreciate your time. You are the true Gala fam. You are a part of my family, and I love every single one of you. Come by a live stream and share the love with your other family members. Have a great day. Be kind to other people. Be kind to animals. Be easy on the environment. And I hope that I see every last one of you back here again tomorrow for, you know what, more full attacks.